everyone, in this episode of Hub Fuel, I'm going to be showing you how to create a custom behavioral event within the HubSpot CRM. If you're not already familiar with what a custom behavioral event is, the chances are you may be familiar with Google Analytics event goal recording, which is essentially the same concept. What this now allows you to do is within your HubSpot portal, you can now specify soft goals such as button clicks or key website page visits that now will be counted as conversions that can store onto contact records once they go on to hard convert via a traditional form. It's also important to mention that this is currently only available on Enterprise. HubSpot have made this so easy to use now via the Analytics Chrome add-on, meaning that you don't have to set these up in the legacy way of working where you would have needed development support and the use of the HubSpot API. With that said, let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to head over to Reports and Analytics Tools and just check you've got the feature within your portal as it is at the time of recording, like I said, in beta. If you click on that, it will simply take you to the library in your account for all the custom behavioral events set up. If you've previously set one up via the API or development purposes, you can access these via this link above, which is the legacy way of setting them up. Going forward, HubSpot will encourage the use of its analytics add-on. Mentioning the add-on is a good segue in order to how to obtain that. So what you're going to want to do is head over to the top and press the settings bar. Once you've done that, simply head down to the tracking analytics and your tracking code, and you will see a link for is install event Chrome extension. Simply click that and it will take you to the events Chrome extension page and then press the download button. Now you're probably asking, why did it take me to another HubSpot page rather than the tool directly? And it's because when it takes you to this page, it's tracking the portal you're accessing the tool from because the widget will be linked to your portal. So if you're working with lots of portals, bear that in mind. Simply press download and it will take you to the Chrome page where you can then just add it to Chrome. You'll know it's been successfully installed because at the top, you will see a HubSpot sprocket, not to be confused with the sales add-on, but you'll see a normal sprocket and then hover over it and it will say the analytics extension. Now, the way this extension works is if you go on a website that isn't your own, such as Google, and you click this, you'll see that it works off the tracking script. So if your HubSpot tracking script isn't on the page you're looking at, you won't be able to create a custom event. Now, if we were to go back to a page where we do know the tracking code is on, such as a resource on our website, and I was to check the actual ad, you will see it will load and it will give me two options. It can either create an event based on if they visit a key URL across the entire website, and that will count as a conversion, or if they've clicked a certain element on a web page, such as a button, an image, a piece of text. So what you're going to want to do is simply understand what you're looking to track. So in this case, we've got a resource and it is a two-step resource. So there's 2 clicks involved, if not 3. So I want to track how many people start it and ultimately then after that, be able to track how many don't finish it and then obviously do some high contextual marketing on the back of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select clicked element. I'm going to press next. And then it's going to allow you to select the element on the page that you want to link the goal to. In this case, it's going to be this button here where it says get my results. I'm going to click that. And what I'm going to do is just simply type in the name of the goal, which is the web grader, get my results, and then just put new because there was a test one previously. If I then create this event, it will take a few seconds and it will create the goal within your portal. Now, if you click this link, it will take you directly into the new UI. And you can see that it's set up my event here for me to see. And you can see the event type, which is a clicked event, clicked element rather than a website page visit. So if I click into the event, it will now start tracking all the unique visitors that see that button versus how many people click it. So now I can track basically how many people are going on the page versus how many people are engaging with the page. And then if they were to fill in a form later on, it will store information by default into contact properties or company, depending on how they convert. So HubSpot does automatically collect the start date, some typical date functions in terms of when the goal was recorded, so that you can then view this within the actual back end of HubSpot if you wanted to do any kind of reporting. Now, in terms of what that necessarily looks like, as you can see here, these are some of the standard data it collects, such as screen height, screen width, the actual search term that led to getting to that goal, any UTMs which are stored, and so on and so forth. What you'll also find is if there's a certain field you want to collect, such as the completion date. So if I was to search that in there, I can then create a custom property to store that in. So if I create a custom property really quick, I'm going to store it in a web grade and new information. And then the other piece of information I want to record when this goal is completed is ultimately the start date or the web grader start date. Once that's then set up, we just need to simply press next. Simply select the type of field. So I want to record the date they started, because then I can do some workflows on the back of it in the future, depending on the contact. And then that will simply create it. So now if I press the actual start date, you'll see that it's created my custom property that's linked to this and who's created it as well. So now going forward, I can actually track this in my reporting analytics in terms of a conversion as well. So I can report on the overall portal and how many contacts are created, but then I can go a level deeper in terms of, yes, we may have generated 200 contacts, but of those, we know that 187 may have started the web grader in the lead up to their hard conversion. Again, this is just the start of this. This is currently in beta, so there'll be more functionality added. So I'm really excited to see where this tool goes. But again, really excited to see what you guys come up with in using this feature. If you are on enterprise, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you next time.